Hi, everyone. This is Anna Weaver, the Associate Editor at the Hawaii Catholic Herald, and welcome to our podcast, Hawaii Catholic Herald Highlights. Today, we're revisiting a Herald story from February 2020, and to do that, I'm joined by the story's subjects, Mark and Maricel Sebastian. So welcome, you guys.
Hello.
Thanks for being with us for our fairly new podcast. And this is the first time I'm recording, so everybody will get to see your lovely faces as well. So. And I wanted to start with a little recap for the story for anybody that didn't see it. So we interviewed you both on basically the sacrament of marriage. You got married in the church in 2016 at your parish of Immaculate Conception in Eva Beach.
Right.
And one fun thing was that Mark actually proposed to you, Maricel, at church, right?
Right.
That was a cool part of the story, I thought. Yeah. And then you're also both active with Couples for Christ and Engaged Encounter.
Yes.
Yeah, and one other thing we had talked a little bit about was that you had a little bit of a struggle in starting your family. So I wanted to kind of catch up with you now because you have some exciting news. So would you like to share with us?
Yeah, well, it's been a long 6 years of trying to conceive. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a very general diagnosis of infertility. And so we struggled in trying to, have a baby. Mm-hmm. And we, being Catholics, we automatically knew that we didn't want any type of artificial insemination like IUI or IVF. So we decided and learned from the Engage Encounter retreats to start trying to have a baby through natural family planning. And because of that, we started right when the pandemic started, when we started the Creative Model System.
Yes.
And with the Creative Model System, it took us about how long, babe?
About 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
We took about 2 years of charting and going to doctor's appointments and stuff, and we were recommended to go to Creighton University itself and get a diagnostic surgery with the St. Paul Institute there.
Okay.
Yeah, and with that diagnostic surgery, they did find some things within her that they could fix right away, such as one of her fallopian tube was clogged.
Okay.
So they unclogged it, and after that,
a month later. We got pregnant.
Wow, that's exciting. It worked.
Yes, it worked. It definitely worked. And I think if it wasn't for charting or really working with a natural family planning OBGYN, we wouldn't have known, because with IUI and IVF, that route, they automatically take you to a general route where there's the medication of Clomid, and if that doesn't work to try to be fertile, they automatically say IUI and IVF without really digging deeper what's really wrong with you. Mm-hmm. So with natural family planning, we were able to understand my body. He was able to understand my body more than me, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in charge of the charting? I hear sometimes spouses do that.
It was all him.
So for the Creighton model, it's actually pretty cool, where all of the charting and everything lies on me. You know how people think in a the circular world think being pregnant is all up to the women, and that it's her choice, or it's whenever she's ready to do it, that's when it's gonna happen. In the Creighton model system, it's more of the husband helping the women to be able to conceive. She gives me all of the information she has for me, and I put it in a chart. So if the chart is wrong, it's my fault, not her fault.
Well, it makes it equal.
Yes, exactly.
Well, whenever we have doctor's appointments, they're really talking to him more than me, and they're asking him questions. And I have no idea what's going on.
It helps as a couple to understand, what's going on, not only in my body, but mostly her body and what's going on. And it helps me as the husband to, be able to prepare what's about to happen. Like, I know when she's about to have her cycle, or I know when she's ovulating. So I'm the one that tells her, oh, just FYI, you're about to have your cycle, so be prepared. So she's like, oh, okay.
Okay. And do you guys know if you're having a boy or a girl?
We're having a boy.
And do
What
you
is
have a
it?
name? Do you have a name picked out?
Not quite yet, but we'll
You don't want to
see.
make an announcement right now? No. Okay.
No, not yet.
And you said the baby's due November 21st, around Thanksgiving time.
Yes,
So,
Thanksgiving
okay.
week. So, like you
Okay.
said, a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah. Have you talked about this kind of journey in your Engaged Encounter and Couples for Christ ministry? I don't know if that's something that would come up naturally. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We have for the Engaging Corner ministry, there is a NFP talk,
Okay.
which we are asked to, do our sharing through our own experiences, which is pretty cool. The Engaging Corner participants are able to see that um there's always another way to be able to conceive and stuff. So we're able to talk to some people that knows that they have some issues already, and we're able to guide them to where they can go to or who they can contact to further better their education on NFP.
And it's interesting to know how majority, or I would say 100% of the audience don't even know what natural family planning is.
Yeah.
How to naturally conceive, how to naturally prevent getting pregnant if it's not the right time, and just educating them on the system. They think it's a very old system, when really it's the basic system of how to conceive and how to educate yourself. And even when we go to our general OBGYNs, they don't know what natural family planning is. So when they tell us, or when we tell them what we did, they're so shocked in how we were able to conceive and the route that we took. And it's like they didn't, when they tell us, they're like, "Oh, this isn't what we were taught when we were in school." And generally, it's automatically the artificial insemination.
Yeah, so it was interesting that like being able to see that your fallopian tube was blocked or something was the
Yeah.
thing to do. And I know IVF can be incredibly expensive and some of these other things, and obviously not according to the church's teachings. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it's
And we're blessed with our insurance covered everything.
Mm-hmm.
it's great.
Everything was covered for us. The only thing that we had to pay for was traveling to Nebraska to Creighton University. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Did you guys go at a nice time of year to visit Nebraska? Did you choose?
Oh, it was snowing.
It was
Okay. I guess not so much sightseeing, but
No.
um, yeah, and MFP has different systems, like you mentioned, the Creighton method, and I know there's several other versions. So it is something that I think a lot of Catholics even don't really know a lot about. So thanks for sharing a little bit about that. I was kind of wondering about how you're prepping for parenthood. Besides getting all the baby gear and I don't know, getting a space ready for the baby. Have you been doing anything in particular to get ready?
Well, he's been rearranging a room like more than once.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how do we fit baby, and well, we had a couple baby showers already, so our baby's taking over our house.
Okay.
What I think has been very helpful with me was I've been reading a book called Made for This, which is pretty much a Catholic holistic pregnancy book that helps with preparing for pregnancy, preparing for childbirth, and it's more of like a spiritual guide in how to, I guess, correlate my pregnancy and childbirth in making sure that I understand that the pains of it and the sufferings of it is really going through the same crosses that Jesus took, and also reminding myself that Mama Mary has taken the same route and all the blessings that come with it and how to endure all of that, and making sure that I understand the spiritual aspects of labor and delivery.
Okay.
So it's called Made for This by Mary Hallestein.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much a guide. It's a mother's guide to birth, and I've read some parts of it too, and it is very helpful. It helps you with the theology of the birthing, and also for us men or fathers or the husbands, it helps me understand what she's gonna be going through and how I should always be there physically, mentally, and emotionally for her. Not try to take away the pain from her, but just supporting her through that suffering that she's gonna endure. So
does it go into the theology of sleep deprivation after your baby arrives as well?
I don't think I read that chapter yet.
no, not yet,
but everybody's been telling me about that. Get as much sleep as you can.
Yeah, I guess you can never catch up. I remember I should have, after I had both my kids, with the first one, I was like, I should have read the sleep books before they came, because then I was sleep deprived reading the sleep technique books. But and you have people in your life that will be able to support you. I think, do you still live with your mother? Is she there?
Well, she is in San Diego, taking care of her other grandchildren, but she's coming back, and we have my in-laws as well.
Yeah, so my mom lives down the road, so and she's also retired. So
yeah, it's amazing of how much support that we have and how many people have already been helping us. So we're very blessed.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about as far as, this has been a long journey with your marriage, and certainly, struggling with infertility can affect a marriage. How did you guys keep your marriage strong throughout kind of that difficulty?
Well, for me, it's during that process of trying to conceive, it was hard for Maricel and for me for sure, but I feel like she was having a harder time with, almost sometimes blaming herself that we couldn't conceive and stuff. And I just had to constantly remind her that she's not the one that's she's not the one that's giving me the baby. It's whenever Jesus and God is ready to give me that child, that's when it'll happen. And so I just had to constantly remind her of that this is our cross to carry, and that we're here, we're in this together, and whenever God is ready to give us our child or whatever may be his will, then that's what will happen. But to have that faith that God has a plan for us was really something that I kept close to my heart, because it was something I was taught with, growing up in the faith and having that faith strong, not only in my own faith journey, but in our faith journey together. So
yeah. I think for me, it was a struggle because, like you said, like I did blame myself a lot because it was my diagnosis, but he never did once make me feel less of a woman. He never did once make me feel less of a wife, and he was very supportive, like no matter what, whether it was a failed pregnancy test or whether it just wasn't the timing. I think I was never pressured by him, and I think it's because of our faith, and like you said, it was always God's plan. And throughout this time of just being a married couple on our own, we've learned a lot, and I think we've gotten closer. So I think it really was God's timing of us trying to love each other more, spend more time with each other before the family keeps growing. And I, I honestly feel like a lot of the saints were with us, like Saint Gianna, Saint Gerard, Saint Anne, Saint Elizabeth. Throughout this time, a lot of our friends gave us relics or gave us prayer cards, to just hold on to the saints and make us realize that they're rooting for us and that they're loving us, and that there are people who have been through this struggle in the past, and has been successful. And even though it wasn't successful, they still had a happy marriage or a happy life together. So I'm very grateful for my husband for who he is and how he was, or how he continues to be towards me.
That's very nice. Yeah. And you guys got to keep that bond with the baby coming. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to about parenthood, or things you're worried about parenthood?
Oh, I'm worried. I feel like I'm so not equipped of being a mother. Like I'm a good auntie. Like I love being the fun, make trouble auntie. But when it comes to like for me, like he knows, like when it comes to newborns, I get so nervous carrying them and everything. But I know it naturally comes. But I'm just worried of how to raise him, and just how to raise a Catholic family in such a secular world, and how to guide them. Like I think that's a fear of mine, knowing that there's so many things that can distract us or deter us away from our faith, and to have that responsibility for a child, and to be able to raise them to be independently on their own with their faith.
and I feel I feel that, I understand Maricel and what she's afraid of, and I feel like being in Couples of Christ ministry really will help us be able to raise our child in the Catholic faith and
Mhm.
be able to have that faith like what we've been raised to have. So that's why I really truly appreciate being in this ministry of Couples of Christ, being able to be close with those that have the same faith as us and same beliefs as us. So
In raising them with
raising them with the
mind
least,
like families, yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. And a lot of it does, it's different when it's your kid versus other people's
Yeah.
kids. So, yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, great. I don't know if you have any other updates you guys wanted to include, or will you keep being involved in Engaged Encounter? Are you going to take a little break after the baby comes? I know that's a
We'll,
big time
we'll be
investment.
involved as much as we can. Of course, like we don't know how our
Yeah.
schedule has been, but
Oh, will
I
be.
mean, I love educating people with natural family planning. Like I said, it's this journey has definitely been a blessing in disguise because our struggles could be everyone else's blessings, and helping them go through their fertility journey or infertility journey, and allowing them to be more educated and aware that these are the resources that the church has and that you guys can take advantage of it, and to go this route. So it's like it's nice to always share our testimony to other people. Like, we're not ashamed of it at all. And when people ask, like, we're more than happy. So if it's not with presenting in the retreats, but more, if people want to contact us through Engage Encounter for those resources, we're definitely available.
Yeah.
Great. And thank you for sharing with us. And I'm glad to get such a great update from you guys. So thanks for being
Yes.
willing to share with us. So,
Yeah, big difference.
yeah. Yeah. So it's a journey beyond the pandemic and everything, coming out
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
side. So, yes. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.